All right, I'm back. The last live was going too smooth, and going into the Suno and all of that, and like having that play, and I was really just testing it out, but I got nervous. I had to get up out of there because it was like 6 people watching. I was like, all right, let me not mess this up. So I went back and I tested it out, right? So I had to, let's see, go to my channel. And then, so I changed what it was called. So I put it to creating instrumentals from Suno for this mini doc. And I just saved it at that. All right. So I got to go back. Now I'm over here thinking about all the, hold on. Let me go to Suno. Boom. Now I'm over here thinking about all the things that need to come with my YouTube journey, and so I can be a top streamer. So I got to go through and clip that. I got to change the what's the thing called, thumbnail on the website, and I'm back doing this again just so I can get some practice. You feel me? So more practice. Um, I wasn't even planning on staying. Like, all right, I'm gonna go live longer for this one, right? The first one was just a replay. And then what I also got to think is, let me be consistent on my live streams. Maybe I could always go live at 2:30 on a Saturday, 2 o'clock on a Saturday, or 7 o'clock on a Tuesday, 7:30, 2:30, 7:30, 2:30, 7:30 p.m., not a.m. Be clear about that. I am not a morning person. But yeah, man. So all I'm gonna do is keep talking and rambling about nothing, really, and everything at the same time, and then just start practicing delivering things, staying accountable because I got things I need to accomplish, and one of the main things that I wanted to accomplish is becoming a better orator. So the more that I practice just speaking about different topics, I'll do a lot more ooms and ahs and and pauses and all those kind of things. I can jump from topic to topic utilizing these frameworks to really deliver educational, empowering, entertaining. That was a framework. Messages. And once you have the frameworks already set, you can add your swag to it. You can add your jokes. You can add your all of these different things, because the funniest people, that's all they do. They say the same thing over and over and then see what they get a little laugh about, or see if somebody's ears perk up. Like, that's the game right there. Is you telling the same stories over and over. And that's what I'm going to get better at. And that's why I'm on here. It is the deep dive, the study of the art of storytelling. Listening, watching, practicing. See, I've always been. Stop listening, Siri. It always wants to pop up at the most inopportune times.
Sorry, something went wrong. Please try again.
I wasn't talking to you. That's what went wrong. I need to cut this off. But Siri, stop, bro. I don't like the fact that you're sitting there listening to me. Um, so all right, boom. That's wild. I had 410 subscribers because somebody just subscribed. It's pretty wild because I had 410 subscribers because somebody just subscribed, but I guess me going live again and again, they don't want to watch what I got going on. So what's going to happen is that we going to get back into everything. So, oh, I was trying to remember.
Sorry, something went wrong. Please try again in a moment.
Okay, boom. So I was really trying to remember. I don't like the. Let me get the. Bump this up just a little bit so I can get the. So I can lock in right here. If I had something on this that I could look at. See, I got me one of them see-through teleprompter screens, and I'd probably put that on right here so I could either read the comments or read a script or do something as I'm looking directly at the camera. Because right now I'm looking directly at the camera, and if I really lock in and focus, I could sit here and I could do this. And as I'm practicing my words and as I'm practicing exactly what I'm doing, I'm looking into the eye of the camera. I'm looking into the to the sensor or the soul of the camera. You feel me? It's the sensor. It's the soul. Is what I was calling it. But you lock in all the way. You feel me? And you can see if you can really actually connect with the camera in that type of way. And right now, I'm live and I'm talking to myself, but I'm also practicing. And I'm trying my best to just practice the ramble. But as I'm practicing the rambling, I'm reminding myself that I got to practice my frameworks. So as I'm entering into any type of project, any type of edit, or any type of things like that, is that if I can go in with an idea of what the topic is on a high level, I could break down those topics into frameworks. And then as I'm delivering the message, it's becoming that much more impactful, right? So one of the things is that I'm looking at editing this documentary, and I'm looking at this three-act structure, right? You got the setup, you got the confrontation, and then you got the climax. What I'm looking at right now is I'm looking at my whiteboard over to the side. I wish I had another camera, and one of these days, I'm gonna set this up in a way that I could just. So what would actually be good is if I had, and I got this, right? But I need a self contained, battery powered, light stand mobility device that I could just, and I've built it before. And the crazy thing is, I've done a lot of things in my business out of practice and doing it and starting it and forgetting about it. And one of the things that I want to be better about is making sure that as I build out my AI brain and I'm downloading all of these different things of the things that I've created, things that I've hired other people to create, um, those ideas that I've thought about, inspiration that I've gotten from different creators, putting it all into this context, right? I started doing it and I have it on my Google Docs. And Gemini, I'll see how well Gemini is doing. I know ChatGPT has Codex, so I might try that. And then Claude, I might try that. But I was doing something wrong, right? I was knee deep into learning all of these different AI tools. I'd buy it, I'd make something, and then I'd forget about it for months while they're still charging me the renewals on those fees. And FOMO hits, and I don't want to get rid of them, but I'm also wasting money. Um, what I've recognized that I needed to do, right, is that I need to lock in on my projects, not hiring anybody, not getting a contractor. If I can do it myself, which I know that I can because I've spent 20 years doing these things, what I could do is take everything that I'm doing, craft the standard operating procedures and the processes for it, talk through it, and then I could upload it to a brain of all the knowledge that I've created and crafted over these past 20 years and all of the things that I forgot about with a I got a keyboard in front of me, but I didn't feel like typing on it. But you get the idea. That I could real deal just reference that. And if I have all my footage in a way, AI is going to get really, really good. And it's going to get good to a point where I can pull my database of videos from this project, for example, that I'm working on. And when I really get the knowledge of how to implement it and how to utilize it, because I know what it needs to do. So I need to be able to clearly articulate and define exactly what I need it to do. And once I can clearly articulate and define exactly what I needed to do, I could just talk to an AI and have them do it. Right? So this video, for an example, right? And I'm going to utilize this as a test to see how well it does compared to the edit that I saw, right? Um, and sometimes you have to be in it to be able to figure out what the story is. But other times it's something that you just need to quickly turn around and somebody already has an idea of what the story needs to be, right? So I'm working with NeighborWorks Florida Collaborative, and for the past few weeks I've been working on this project, right? So I was doing pre-production, production, and right now I'm in the post-production phase. All right. So in that post-production phase, I'm taking some of the ways that people delivered their messaging and then I'm inserting it throughout the timeline. The latest thing that I did is I added some music. So the first thing I usually do is I run through the interviews, I pull out some sound bites, and then keep that there, right? Um, first thing I and then the next thing that I do is that I have the narrator and figure out from the narrator what's the overarching story? And for me, I don't like to create the overarching story before I have the conversation with the people that are involved, right? So I kind of get some ideas and then it evolves based on however I'm editing the footage, right? So I created a it's crazy, bro, because I'm live and I'm doing all of this and I just need to get as comfortable as possible just doing what I do. And y'all might be over there and we talking to you. And it might be the chat if it's too many people and it's scrolling real fast, or it's my homie that also does editing or can either teach me something or I could teach them something. Do you like the y'all like the set though? I might have to change the white balance on this a little bit because I want to match this look. I really like this look. I really like this look. I might. Hold on. Let me get. Let me get back right. Make a solid core. Let me see if anybody texts me. Nobody fucking loves me. Um. All right, boom. We 17 minutes in. We 17 minutes in, and I haven't really done any editing. 18 minutes actually, and that was after the other live stream that I did. So let's lock in. All right, cool. Let me close out some of this stuff real quick. Suno. Wait a minute. Oh nah. I gotta go back. I gotta open back up Suno because I need I need background music. I need background music. All right, real quick though. All right, real quick though. All right, real quick though. All right, right now what I'm doing is I'm clip forming. Try a little thing. All right, right now what I want to do is I want to have a library of a couple more songs so that as I'm creating this video and doing the editing, I'll still have a soundtrack playing in the background, right? So I kind of got the vibe of the song that I wanted to, but I also want to have some more options for the back of the song, because the video is going to be 10 minutes. These songs that Suno's spitting out is 3 minutes and 47 seconds, 3.5 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever, right? So I need at least 3 to 4 songs to be able to complete the entire documentary. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start my editing process off with Suno. I'm gonna make another song. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my library. I'm gonna say give me another instrumental with a vibe. That's it. Give me another instrumental, this type of vibe. So what I recognize that so what I realize that Suno does is if you're remixing a song, it'll take the song, remix it, and give you 2 more options, right? But if you're creating a song from scratch, it will give you 4 options. Let's see. Let's see. So the reality is, bro, like it's kind of giving me the same song. So now I can blend all of these songs together, and it'd be like it hasn't hit it hasn't missed, you know. But it's not the same repetitive song. It's just kind of the same vibe, and it's just flowing from one to the other. I like what it's doing right now. Let me show you real quick. All right, boom. All right, so I'm gonna have that playing in the background. I'm gonna come back. All right, so we're gonna use Suno to kind of set the tone for the edit. I'm gonna go back to Premiere Pro to well, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a vibe for the video that I'm editing again, because I gotta go back and see what I was doing with that. That's what I'm doing. What am I doing? I'm editing a video while I'm live streaming. Um, That's what I'm doing. I'm editing a video while I'm live streaming. All right. All right, let me drop this link. Drop this link. Hold on. And really, I'm just trying to figure this out at the same time. And once I get better with this, it's going to go a lot more smoother. But it is what it is. Don't forget to like and subscribe. All right. All right, let me see. Let me make sure that this is working. Okay. We got the iPad. The iPad's going. It's saying that it's working. I'm here with it. All right. Hold on. Let me get back. Hold on. Okay. We got A cam. We got B cam. We got the tunes in the background with Suno. We got Premiere. All right. ADD kicking in. Let me make sure I log back in. Boom, boom, boom. That was Suno, track 1. Let me go ahead and pause the Suno track real quick because let me go ahead and pat. Hold on. All right, so I'm about to pause the Suno track in the background real quick. Let's do it. All right, we got that pause. Boom. Bing, bong, boom. All right. Now we back on Premiere. Let's get this switched over. All right, boom. Now that we're back on Premiere, I need to get better and more smoother with this live streaming thing. But until then, I'm gonna just act like it's working, or just edit live. Okay, so here we're editing live. We're in Premiere right now. We're editing live. Let's get a feel for how this actually fits on the tracking.
The story of the Florida Collaborative and what we're able to accomplish is remarkable, and people need to know about it.
I personally think the state of Florida is fortunate. We have 12 agencies in this state that provide similar, if not like, services.
I am just so proud every time I drive around South St. Pete, and I'm like, we built that house. We built that house.
But that's part of why it's rewarding, right? It's you have to leverage things. You have to be creative.
So today we're at Lurline, the first 3D printed home here in Tampa and Hillsborough County.
So being part of a collaborative, we talk about what some of those issues are and how we can address them as a collaborative, because we're all impacted by those things.
We're one of the first to adopt it here in Tampa. So it's
All right, so what I'm gonna do is I want to undo. All right, I want to create a subsequence of this, because I want to lock in. I want to focus on this message right here. I could double this up, even go 2 to 3 minutes on this one.
Serving urban, suburban, and rural, all coming together.
All right, so for the first part, doc. All right, so let me do edit part 1. All right, so I'm gonna call this mini doc part 1. Boom.
The story of the Florida Collaborative and what we're able to accomplish is remarkable, and people need to know about it.
I personally think the state of Florida is fortunate. We have 12 agencies in this.
So for this beginning part, it's really just an introduction to a bunch of the different faces that are it's an introduction into a bunch of the different faces that are part of the Florida Collaborative, and we're giving a little bit of interest as far as what the collaborative is doing, who's involved, the different faces and things like that. So what I recognized in this, right, is that we
The
have
story of the Florida Collaborative and what we're able to accomplish is remarkable, and people need to know about it.
I personally think the state of Florida is fortunate. We have 12 agencies in this state that provide similar, if not like, services.
I am just so proud every time I drive around South St. Pete, and I'm like, we built that house. We built that house.
But that's part of why it's rewarding, right? It's you have to leverage things. You have to be creative.
So today we're at Lurline, the first 3D printed home here in Tampa and Hillsborough County.
So being part of a collaborative, we talk about what some of those issues are and how we can address them as a collaborative, because we're all impacted by those things.
It's a brand new technology, right? So we want.
all right, so what I want to do, right, because when I was dropping tracks in, and the reason that I put this on a separate track is because it's just a lot going on. So I need to clean this up a little bit. Let me unlink these so I can put the audio back where it needs to be. As soon as that's done, I'm gonna link that back. Right. I'm gonna go here with it because I want to say whatever you said related to this. And then I just got to see how long this is gonna go. But one of the things I really want to do is I'm going to have to. All right, so.
You have to be creative.
So today we're at Lurline. The first 3D.
All right, let me actually get my whole thought out because I'm thinking and doing and talking at the same time, right? Hold on. All right, so let me actually get my whole thought out because I'm doing and I'm talking and I'm thinking at the same time. And the problem with that is that you never get anything done. So, and if y'all watching, if y'all here, like drop a comment below because I have no idea why y'all watching. Because I'm really just practicing and figuring out how to clip form while doing this and keeping myself. There's a lot going on in my brain. I ain't gonna lie to you. So if you want to hop in the chat real quick and just let me know, hey, I'm here. I get it. And if you got any tips on any of that, just let me know. Just drop a message in the chat. Let me know that you have seen this. But I'm okay. I'm good with talking to myself and just practicing as well. Talking to myself out loud. That's whatever. All right. So let me go back. I'm gonna go. Hold on. Let's go Bcam. Let's go Bcam. Because I'm not doing anything as far as paying attention to y'all. Because y'all not talking to me anyway. And I'm not doing anything on that screen. But I need to do something here to keep me focused. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a pull up my app. Copy. All right. Delete row. Delete row. All right. So what I wanted to create is a spreadsheet with the 12 organizations on it. I removed one of the organizations. I'm going to also remove any of the lines that are on here. All right. And then now this way, here you are. Now this way I have, hold on. All right, so now on my laptop, I got a spreadsheet with the 10 out of the 12 organizations that I actually sat down and interviewed. I want to make sure that I'm going through the list and that I'm making notes on which one of these I actually kind of sorted through and pulled sound bites from, because I should actually be doing that first. I'm too jumbled, and I need to start following my frameworks. Um, but Tampa Bay Housing Services, I did interview Frank. Yes. Hold on. All right, so let's see. What I want to do is I'm gonna create a. Matter of fact, why am I leaving y'all out? Y'all feel like, well, I'm realizing I'm leaving you out because I don't want this spreadsheet to fall into the wrong hands. But whatever. Frank, Tampa, I did that. Let's create a. Hold on. How do we make a check mark box? Format, formats, bullet number. All right. I'm gonna just go one. Frank, I went through your interview one. CDC of Tampa, Ernest, I started going through yours. Boom. Kelly, I still got to do yours. Andre, I still got to do yours. Alfred, I started going through yours. Um, Pensacola Habitat for Humanity, I didn't go through yours yet. Steve Kirk, Suncoast, I did yours. TLC. Suncoast Housing, I did yours. TLC, I did yours. Welch Watchers, I did yours. Okay, so let me log back in. I got ahead of myself, but I do have good feel for how it's opening up, which is good. And then I could start dropping some more footage on. I can start dropping some more footage on that timeline. But what I'm gonna do right now is that I'm gonna close out this window. I'm gonna close out this window. I'm gonna close out your window. Let me close out a bunch of stuff. CDC of Tampa. CDC of Tampa. I got the interview edit. Boom. All right, cool. I could close project actually. Close project. Hold on, let me bring y'all back in. Now that we back on the. Let me bring y'all back in real quick. Now that we back on track, baby. Hold on. All right, CDC of Tampa. All right. Let's lock in. I need to call LB, man. I need to call Lions Behavior to make sure that I'm staying on track. All right, boom. What am I tripping about? Save changes of CDC of Tampa before closing. Yes, I need to do that. Mini doc part one. Mini doc is staying active. That's staying here. Project ONIC. Do I got the interview? Sub edit on IC. All right, cool. On IC, you straight, bro. Let me just close you out too. Save. All right, boom. All right, no more projects. All right, let me open up a project that I haven't checked off the box of sorting through. Kelly, I'm gonna save yours for a little bit later. Andre, I gotta take a look at your joint. Andre, matter of fact, let me just go Andre. We'll just go Andre. Boom. I'm gonna go Andre. Let me change up this sequence. This is the Neighborhood Housing and Development Corporation. YouTube. All right, let me see if anybody else want to come on. I do not have that in the picture. Boom. Let me get my tunes playing in the background. I forgot that I could play tunes. All right, this is finally done. Am I still live? Oh yeah, I'm still live, baby. Hold on, let me do that again. We're live. I've been editing for the past couple weeks. Would y'all please come keep me some company? Hold on. Let me show y'all what I'm doing. I'm working. I'll come hop on my YouTube channel and keep me some company. Live. I've been editing for the past couple weeks. Would y'all please come keep me some company? Hold on. Let me show y'all what I'm doing. I'm working. I'll come hop on my YouTube channel and keep me some company. Live. I've been editing for the past couple weeks. Would y'all please come keep me some company? Hold on. Let me show y'all what I'm doing. I'm working. I'll come hop on my YouTube channel. Oh. We're live. Okay. We're back. We're back. Um was messed up for a second. Let's all right, so I think I was running one too many programs. And what I want to do is go back to Suno. I want to have that playing in the background. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to close. Back to this. Window, workspaces. I'm gonna just go editing. I'm gonna go here with it. I want to close this project. But hopefully I could. Neighborhood Housing and Development Corporation. All right, boom. All right, let me drop this into a new subdomain or new subsequence. All right, this is the interview. All right, boom. All right, so now that I have everything lined up, I got the computer back running. The live stream went crazy for a second, but now that we back running, I have Gainesville, um, the Gainesville Neighborhood Housing and Development Corporation. I'm interviewing Andre Parchment, who's the CEO. I did an interview with him. Actually, let me lock this in real quick. So one of the things I like to do, um, so I did an interview with him, and I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna edit. I'm gonna break it down into sound bites. He said a lot of good information, but what I want to do is, with the understanding of what I'm editing the video to be in the back of my head, I want to sit there and I want to search for the sound bites, right? So some of the sound bites are, uh, what are we doing? We're talking about the American dream. How is collaboration and working with NeighborWorks been? What are some of the investments that you're making into the property? But right now, as we're sorting through all of these, I want to give quick intros into what these different organizations are doing. So, um, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to lock in and I'm going to focus. That's the moral of the story right now, and it should be for the longest, for me at least. um, I'm gonna lock in and I'm gonna take a look at the interview. I got my Suno music playing in the background so I can see what the vibe is going with. This is my Suno playlist of different songs and instrumentals that I've created to be able to utilize on the back end of the editing of my videos. Um, so right now I'm gonna sort through this interview. I'm gonna lock in and see what some of the clips are. All right, we're sitting at Premiere Pro. The first thing I want to do is I want to make sure that this timeline that's right here is starting at 00. Because I'm pretty sure there's a reason why this timeline shows whatever it shows. I don't know what that reason is. I'm not familiar with time code. So if there's somebody that's a real editor and doesn't just play one on TV, just doesn't just play one on live stream, shit, hop in the comments and let me know. Put me on game. Um, but until then, it was hot outside. It was very hot outside. So, Andre, we ain't take much time. We did a 15-minute interview and we were good to go. But he was good with his delivery. So, all right, Dre. All right. So one of the things I want to do is I want to make sure that my workspace is clean. So I'm gonna do editing. I'm gonna call this clip forming. This is the moral of the live stream, right? So I'm gonna call this clip forming. I'm gonna get rid of a lot of these panels. I'm gonna close everything on this side. I want to maximize my room as far as this goes. Can I tap back into my ADD again? I really have trouble locking in and focusing on interviews like this because my brain goes into 1,000 different directions. One of the things that I realized is as he was talking, I'm going to take a couple of sound bites from him, no longer than a minute from this 15-minute interview, right? And this happens to me all the time. There's going to be some really good content. He's going to make a lot of really good points, but I'm still only going to be able to take no more than 60 seconds of what he's saying to put into this video. Even less. I think it's going to be like anywhere between 30 seconds to 45 seconds of what he's saying to be able to include in this video. Additionally to that, that 30 to 45 seconds is total. But what I'm going to need is little bite-sized clips. Little 5 seconds here, 10 seconds here. Whatever it is, right? But as I sort through these interviews and I'm still pulling the sound bites from it, what I'm recognizing is that there's so much more content for these organizations to use. And as a creative director, the brain that is ADD, that's constantly switching from one thing to the next, all of those little things and all of those little ideas should be implemented, right? Because what he can do is he can take this up and he can create 20 sound bites from this one interview. He can take that on, he can edit they can edit their own brand message video. They could take that and they can pull clips from to create into their social media campaign and their strategy and things like that. And that's what the beauty of this is, right? And that's why I'm even doing live streams, is because you take this long form content live, you get comfortable just talking and trying out different ideas and speaking out loud, right? Setting up your presentation, setting up your as I'm live editing, I got that set up, right? But I could also put slides on there. I could also put different websites on there as well. So I'm practicing my oratory skills. And then what I can do from that, which what I'm doing from this, is you clip it. So a lot of the live streamers are going crazy right now. Streamer University went ham. They went dumb right now. And what they're doing is they're recording all the time. And then they have a team of people that says, oh, that was funny. I'm going to clip that and I'm going to da-da-da-da. And what they be saying is that, oh, I'm clip farming or I'm or farming, is because as you're recording, there's something either funny or a main point or whatever that you can take, and you can take that 10 seconds, that 5 seconds, that 20 seconds, whatever it is, and then you can add it to your social media. And then other people can start posting it, right? And you have clippers and you have fan pages and you have all of those different things, and you could just take that and you could just digest it into little things, right? But all I'm doing is I'm live streaming the process of what clipping actually looks like, right? So as I'm live streaming, I'm also clipping somebody else's interview, which then he could take that and he could put it into a presentation. He could put it on his social media. He could take that and he can make a mini documentary, or he can talk about the different products, right? So that's really what I wanted to do. Is I wanted to talk about the power of how the content that we created grows and expands and becomes an evergreen piece of product, piece of material, right? So as we created this, not only are we taking this to create a dedicated 10-minute mini documentary talking about the Florida Collaborative, which is going to be played at the National Convention, but all of these organizations with all of this, these interviews and with all of this B-roll footage, they can take this and now they have content that they can continue to use and spread for their organization in many different ways, right? So that's what my brain was on. That was good, Dre. Mic drop. Oh, I said nice little. He's a points, my brother. So the thing with editing, right, is that you also gotta protect the bag. And I be trying to protect my clients. So if you know what you know, keep knowing it. And if you don't, then hey, it's not my problem.
But the community looked completely different than how it does now. And you can pinpoint it, and a lot of it had to do with education and home ownership. That's how important it was then. And so what I love that's happening now is that we're looking back again and saying, okay, how do we get that? How do we go back again and ensure that these neighborhoods that we're in, that we're able to produce home ownerships for those that really want to obtain it? Somewhere along the line, we bought into the lie that ensure that these neighborhoods, and okay, how do we get that? How do we go back again and ensure that is that we're looking back again and saying, okay, how do we get that? How do we go that we're looking back again and saying, okay, how do we get that? How do we okay, how do we get and saying, okay, how do we get that? How do we go back again and ensure that these neighborhoods that we're in, that we're able to produce home ownerships for those that really want to obtain it? Somewhere along the line, we bought into the lie that home ownership is no longer for us. And so right now during this time, that's the thing that I see happening is that, you know, they're pushing back to, hey, let's go back and look at home ownership. If home ownership is for you, there's an avenue for it, there's a lane for it. And so that's one thing I'm glad and I'm happy to see that's happening right now.
Speaking of neighborhoods and the power of home ownership, tell me more about Bella Meadows, because this is a huge piece of property.
It is, man.
How
It's
many acres? Tell me the everything.
Don't have the acreage in front of me. Should have looked that one up. But no, so we've owned this property for quite some time, man. And so we've built some homes on it, and the lots have been vacant, just waiting for the right move. And so what's happening now is you find this concept of community land trust is continuing to keep growing over, and a lot of our local municipalities and nonprofit partners are starting to buy into more of the community land trust model. And so we took a look at that model, which basically separates the property, the land from the home, right? So what's happening now is you find this concept of community land trust is continuing to keep some homes on it, and so we've owned this property for So we've owned this property for quite some time, man, and so we've built some homes on it, and the lots have been vacant, just waiting for the right move. And so what's happening now is you find this concept of community land trust is continuing to keep growing over, and a lot of our local municipalities and nonprofit partners are starting to buy into more of the community land trust model. And so we took a look at that model, which basically separates the property, the land from the home, right? So what happens is the organization, NHDC, we still own the land, but then the residence comes in now and they're able to purchase the house itself, which basically separates the property. And so we took a look at that model, which basically separates the community land of the community land trust model, and so buy into more of the community land trust. Profit partners are starting to buy into more of the community land trust model. And so we took a look at that model, which basically separates. And so we took a look at that model. And so we took a look at that model, which basically separates the property, the land from the home, right? So what happens is the organization, NHDC, we still own the land, but then the residence comes in now and they're able to purchase the house itself, which reduces the overall cost, which makes that house that they normally would not be able to get into, it makes it absolutely affordable for them to be able to have. So we're going to be putting in some rental. So we're going to be putting in some rental properties in here as well. So our residents will be able to come in, rent the property. They're going to be able to go through home buyer education classes, one-on-one counseling, different things that our HUD counselors, HUD certified counselors are going to be able to offer them. Then once they're FICO ready, once they're ready to obtain a house, they're going to be able to pull into their rental that they're in now, and they're going to be able to see their homes being built in front of them. And so that's what this property is about. It's about giving the opportunity to not only be able to purchase a house, but to be able to learn how to become a homeowner. Because that's one of the things that's also missing, man. During closing, all you do is you get handed a key, till you go home, you walk to that house, you're like, now what's up? What do I do next? And so what happens is while they're during closing, all you do is you get handed a key, till you also missing, man. During closing, all you do is you get handed become a homeowner. Because that's one of the things that's also missing, man. During closing, but to be able to learn how to become a homeowner, because that's one of the things that's also missing, man. But to be able to learn how to become a homeowner, because that's one of the things that's also missing, man. During closing, all you do is you get handed a key, till you go home, you walk to that house, you're like, now what's up? What do I do next? And so what happens is while they're renting them, we give them the opportunity to learn what it means to be a homeowner in preparation for their home. So that's what this community is about.
Man, that's really awesome, man.
And the opportunity to learn what it means. So what happens is while they're renting them, we give them the opportunity to learn what it means to be a homeowner in preparation for their home. So that's what this community is about.
Man, that's really awesome, man. Man, that's really awesome, man. And as I've been traveling, I've been learning more and more about home ownership and affordable housing and all them kind of things. I know you said that you didn't really have a lot of the specific numbers, but do you have an idea about how many lots are on this property?
Yeah, 20 we're going to be building 27 homes. There's currently already 9 homes on there. This lot does sit about 3.5 to 4 acres of our member rights. So currently already 27 homes. There's currently already 9 we're going to be building 27 homes. We're going to be building 27 homes. There's currently already 9 homes on there. This lot does sit about 3.5 to 4 acres of our member rights. So I do have those numbers on there. So yeah, so it's going to be a good amount of homes that we're going to be able to put on here. Acres of our member rights. So I do have those numbers on there. 0.5 to 4 acres of our member homes on there. This lot does sit about 3.5 to 4 acres of our member rights. So I do have those numbers on there. So yeah, so it's going to be a good amount of homes that we're going to be able to put on here.
Do you know about about how many families and things like that that you've helped over the years?
That's different because we have different categories, right? So we've got home buyer education classes. Then we've got those that we help with rent, mortgage, utilities, and we put them through case management. That side, on the social service side, I know that number fresh because I just looked at it earlier. We helped 435 families, I want to say, last year when it came to the social service portion, and we put them through case management. That side, on the social service side, I know that number fresh because I just looked at it earlier. We helped 435 families, I want to say, last year when it came to the social service portion of.
So what I'm doing is I'm also creating some additional categories of things that might be interesting to prioritize, right? So one of the things that he talked about was the community land trust model. We might want to bring that up in the documentary. And then another thing is the numerical proof that a lot of these organizations are using. We helped 400 families. We built 300 homes. We built da 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 da. Because what I can do is I could take those social proof numbers to validate what these organizations are doing and quantify it into a
Stuff.
great way.
So we're up there when it's coming to the amount of last year when it came to the social service portion of stuff. So we're up there when it's coming to the amount of people that we're helping.
Okay. All right. And I know
Helping.
okay.
The amount of people that we're. So we're up there when it's coming to the amount of people that we're helping.
Okay. All right, just clean that up a little bit.
Okay. All right. You guys have owned this property for a while, right? And there's a few properties that have already been built. There's families in here and things like that. We've been seeing the traffic come in and out, UPS drivers and things like that. Do you know on track about what you're going to do over the next year or so? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. So our first phase of this is building out the rentals, right? So once we build out the rental units, then it's just about finding the proper clients that are looking for this particular type of a project. So once we build out so our first phase of this is building. So our first phase of this is building out the rentals, right? So once we build out the rental units, then it's just about our first phase of this is building out the rentals, right? So once we build out the rental units, then it's just about finding the proper clients that are looking for this particular type of a project. So that's going to be our main concentration right now, is just finding the proper clients for this as we're building out these 5 rentals.
So with the rentals, are you working specifically with people that you want to get home buyer ready? So
exactly.
So that's so tell me that process. Like
that's exactly it.
They reach out to you. They have a case manager or something like that.
Yeah, a lot of them can come from 2 different sources, right? So if you're in the social service portion of what we're doing, then usually a case manager is working with somebody. They've identified this somebody as being someone that wants to own a home. They might not be ready. You don't have to be working with somebody. They've identified this. Case manager is working with somebody. Usually a case manager is working with somebody. They've identified this somebody as being someone that wants to own a home. They might not be ready. You don't have to be ready for this. That's why you're going through the program. It's if you want, and if you're ready, if you want to purchase a house in the future, that right there is going to be one of the main qualifications. So either it's a case manager, or if it's one of our HUD certified counselors, might be working with a client that might actually be closer to home ownership and ready for home ownership, then those are the 2 avenues that they typically go through. It's going to be a case manager or a HUD counselors.
Man, that's really brilliant concept and idea to where people can start. So you're starting with those 5 rental units, and then you're going to start the process of as you're kind of taking them along the path and along the journey. When people are starting to get ready, you're going to start building the homes.
You got it.
And as they're turning into the neighborhood, they can see their home being built.
You got it.
So now they're understanding what they're working towards.
You got it.
Right.
That's exactly the concept.
And additionally, from what I'm understanding, is as the home is being built, and they're working hand in hand, they could probably start picking out their finishes and
All of that
how
beautiful
they want
stuff.
to,
You
and
got
all of,
it.
let's double down on that. Let's dive into that. So if you can say that in your own words, that as these homes are being built, they're able to pick out their paint, their cabinets, their countertops, and all these kind of things.
Yeah. So what's happening is that, you know, as they're coming in and they're seeing their homes being built, happening is that, you know, what's happening is that, you know, as they're coming in and they're seeing their homes being built, it gets them motivated, right? So what happens now is that every phase of the building, they get to be able to walk in and they can ask the questions, partner with them, learn how their house is being built, be able to have some sort of influence in how their house is being built to a large degree. You know, that's typically what we're looking for. Really, what we want to do is we want to get them excited about their product. You know, that's sort of influence in how their house is being built to a large degree. You know, that's typically what we're looking for. Really, what we want to do is we want to get them excited about their property, because again, the whole excited about their is we want to get them excited is we want to get them excited about their property, because again, the whole thing is we're trying to give this whole home ownership mentality. And when you're excited about a project like that, when you leave and when you've owned the home 2-3 years from now, you realize the work that you were also a part of it, and it keeps you motivated to want to maintain your home. That's part of the CLT portion of it, is what's called stewardship. And so that allows us to be able to continue to work. That's part of the CLT. Want to maintain your home. That's part of the CLT portion of it, is what's called stewardship. And so that allows us to be able to continue to work with them even long term as they're owning the house.
Are there any other projects that you're working on currently, or you have anything down the pipeline?
Yeah, we're getting ready to create a rental academy. That's something that we're excited about. Taking the same, we're getting ready to create a rental academy. That's something that we're excited about, taking the same concept, a little bit of what we're doing for those that's renting, teaching them how to become good renters, being able to work with those individuals who've gone through eviction processes and things like that. So we're getting ready to work with that. We do a lot in the foreclosure area. Unfortunately, that's something that's rising right now. Obviously, we're doing the one-on-one counseling. So we're doing just many of those different types of projects that we're putting together.
Now, Dre, I know you got a long career ahead of you. And you're probably not even thinking about this yet, but what's the legacy that you want to leave? What's the impact that you want to leave 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line?
I've been thinking about that, my dude. So with that portion of it, man, the legacy I want to be able to leave is I want to be able to have different apartment communities where I know individuals who are going and living in those apartment communities are sitting back, and they're there because they want to become financially healthy, and they have, I know individuals who are going and living in those different apartment communities where I know I want to be able to leave is I want to be able to have different apartment communities where I want to be able to have different apartment communities where I know individuals who are going and living in those apartment communities are sitting back, and they're there because they want to become financially healthy, and they have goals in front of them. So my legacy I want to be able to leave is just a place where people can go. So my legacy I want to be able to leave is just a place where people can go, get restarted in life if needed, and be able to leave better than what they walked into that facility with. That's what I'm excited about. That's what we're building these things for. These are all training ground, to be honest with you, for that type of a project.
Nice. That sounds really, really good.
So as we're continuing to build this out, we're going to be learning as we're building, right? So as we're hitting each phase and we get to a certain point, then we as we're building, right? So as we're continuing to build this out, So
Gotcha.
as we're continuing to build this out, we're going to be learning as we're building, right? So as we're hitting each phase and we get to a certain point, then we want to be able to reproduce the same exact thing elsewhere. So that's part of what we're doing here and why it's so important to get this right the first time, because as we get this right, we're getting ready to reintroduce this again to another county, another city, and be able to get them excited about that particular project. So that's what we're looking at doing as well, is continuing to reproduce what's behind me.
All right. Appreciate you, brother. Amazing job. Is there anything else that you want to get off your chest or?
No, man. I appreciate you. Appreciate the collaborative, man. So I'm just thankful for that portion of it. They're really they're stretching us in a really good way to be able to make us even better what we're doing. And always, man, just want to thank NeighborWork for what they're doing for us. For that portion of it, they're really they're stretching. Appreciate you. Appreciate the collaborative, man. So collaborative, man. So appreciate the collaborative, man. So I'm just thankful.
Awesome.
Always, man, just want to thank NeighborWork for what they're doing for us.
All right, boom. Sorted through this interview. I am going to try and lock in as much as I can without getting distracted. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to create a subsequence and not even try and consider where this goes. All right. So boom, got the interview edit. All right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to open a new project. All right, I'm going to go Pensacola with it. I'm going to go Pensacola and I'm going to close down So we got a lot of good content from Pensacola. Oh, there were some good interviews on this too.
Something went wrong. Let's try again.
All right, look. Sequence. Um, interview, and I'm gonna do an interview edit.
Came out to help
she was good, but let me lock in. I got to um I got his interview at that, right? But I need to actually start time. All right. Boom, 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 boom. All right. So we got about 10 minutes here. Uh, all right, so I've reached the point part where I have to really lock in and just sort through these interviews. I'm probably gonna go grab some food real quick so I can make sure that I'm staying above my caloric requirements because a lot of times I forget to eat while I'm sitting here and editing. So I ain't gonna hold y'all for the whole time. We coming up on the hour to where I was just kind of doing this. I really just wanted to kind of practice, get on here on live stream, just continue to tell these stories of what we're working on, what we're doing. So as I'm requiring other people to tell their story and demanding it, I'm doing a better job of doing it myself and becoming a better storyteller. So this is the art of storytelling, and this was another episode where I'm learning a little bit more about live streaming. Um, the lighting looks good. The lighting looks good. Um, so I'm gonna try to practice some of that. I'm probably gonna create a couple more songs with Suno so that I have the playlist booming in the background, and then that'll be it. So it's been real. I'm about to head out. I'm gonna catch y'all later. Until next time, peace. Is there a hotkey to finish?